Chapter 5. Day Closing and Other Functionalities. To close the day, the manager enters the system, clicks on Functions, and then clicks on Main Reading. Here, the net sales amount appears, the total sales for the day, as well as the total amount in the cash desk. Here, the summary of payments appears, the cash amount as well as the credit card amount. The main reading will display details such as first and last orders time, the first and last invoices numbers, the total number of customers, the grand total before including tax and discount, the tax and discounts made. In case money was withdrawn from the cash desk or added to the cash desk, the withdrawn and added amounts will appear in Paid In and Paid Out. The main reading will also display the net total plus Paid In minus Paid Out, the no sales, which is the number of times the drawer was opened without closing an invoice, the subtotal, as well as the average check related to the amount paid by each customer in the restaurant. Also, notice the discount details in addition to the paid in and paid out details. After the manager counts the money in the cash desk and makes sure the figures are correct and corresponding to the net sales, he has to achieve the end of day in the back office. Once in the back office, click on End of Day. The system will ask if he would like to execute the end of day procedure for the determined date. Click on Yes. The system will then inform you that the end of day was successfully done. Each time an end of day procedure is executed, the system will automatically achieve a backup. In case the user assigned to execute the end of day procedure does not have access to the back office, click on Functions to reach the back office shortcut. Click on the password and insert the previously defined code, and click on Enter. The system will ask if he would like to execute the end of day procedure. The system will execute the end of day without the need for the employee to access the back office, and will automatically achieve a backup. To make sure the end of day procedure was successfully accomplished, click on Functions and then click on Main Reading. Notice that there are no transactions, which means that the previous day was closed and it is now possible to start a new day. After accessing the main reading page, in case there are still, for example, 2 opened tables highlighted in green, this means that these tables are not yet closed and are not included in the net sales. More information can be added, such as the sales by menu, showing the income generated from each activity, for example, the tables with their net total, the quick service, along with numbers of customers, and the total, the delivery. In addition to details related to each employee, which means by server, for example, Cashier 1, Cashier 2, along with the attained total, the manager, the drivers in case of delivery, etc. Also listed is the total paid in and paid out, defining the amounts added to the cash desk and amounts withdrawn from the cash desk. It's also possible to view different summaries of sold quantities by category, by division, sales by group, and by item. The summary of voids indicates the voids that occurred. The item transfer shows the transfers made from one table to another. Under opened tables, the number of the tables that are still opened are indicated. Under Checklist, all invoices with their relevant amount are listed, along with the relative table number, if any. Under Credit List, the credit amount along with the relevant customer are listed. Finally, the tips by payment are shown along with the payment method, in cash or using a credit card, as well as the total tips. The main reading page can be printed to be used for statistics regarding a specific day. The first method previously evoked to close the day applies in case there is only one cashier in charge, closing the cash desk at the end of the day with different waiters who only have to place orders. Another method applies in case there are many waiters acting at the same time as cashiers, collecting money from the customers they're in charge of. In this case, the manager enters the main reading page and clicks on By Server to view each waiter's status. For example, the shift of waiter 1 has ended and he's leaving. He is supposed to submit the money he collected during his shift. The manager double-clicks on the concerned waiter's name and clicks on Preview. Here, notice at first that this waiter still has 2 opened tables. These tables shall be transferred to another waiter. Click on Back, go to Functions, click on Server Transfer, click on Select All, click on Next, and select the waiter for whom the tables shall be transferred. Then, click on Functions, click on Main Reading, click on By Server, select, for example, waiter 1. Here, the preview enables to view the amount of money to be submitted by this waiter. This amount can be seen by payment, the sum to be submitted in cash, and the amount paid using credit cards. Afterwards, this waiter can leave. Notice here that this reading is opened by the manager for a specific server who is the concerned waiter, i.e. waiter 1. It can be printed to be submitted along with amount to be submitted by waiter 1. This method applies for all waiters to be able to close the day. The total sum should be equivalent to the net sales of all waiters together. In case there was a delivery in progress and it's time to close the day, and in case the money is usually kept with the drivers, who submit the money collected during their shift at the end of the day, the manager is supposed to go to Functions, click on Main Reading, click on By Server, select the driver for whom he would like to close the day, click on Preview. Here the net sales appear, as well as the amount collected by the driver in cash and those paid by credit card. This procedure is applied for each of the drivers. At the end of the day, the main reading of the drivers and all the sales can be issued to make sure the figures correspond with collected money. It is possible for the manager to know at any moment the number of opened tables, as well as their approximate value. The manager is supposed to go to Functions and click on Open Tables Reading. Notice here the numbers of opened tables, the total, the server, in addition to the estimated total and the number of customers. It's also possible to print this page. After accessing Functions, click on Preview Older Sales. Here, all the previously carried out sales with closed invoices appear. Notice in the first column the invoice number. The second column lists the table number. In case it is less than 10,000, it indicates that it's fine dining, i.e. table. In case it's between 10,000 and 20,000, it indicates that it's a takeaway. In case it is more than 20,000, it indicates a delivery. The next columns show the invoice total, the paid amount, and the payment type, whether cash or using MasterCard or credit. In case there was a previously assigned customer name on the invoice, it appears in the next column. Also available is the server number, indicating the user who performed the transaction, in addition to the reference number, which is the invoice number, the tips indicating the amount of tips, and the time of closing the invoice. It is possible from this page to print a previously closed invoice by selecting the needed invoice and clicking on Print. It is possible as well to change the payment mode from cash to MasterCard, for example. Notice the change. In case you would like to cancel an invoice because of a problem with the customer and you had to return the money, click on Refund. Select the reason and notice that a new invoice with another serial number is created, having the same value of the refunded invoice but negative. In case the customer's name was wrong and you'd like to change it, click on Update Customer, perform a search, and insert the correct name. In case the invoice for a table was closed before entering the tips amount, select the needed invoice. Click on Tip, insert the amount, and click on Enter. Notice that the tips were added. In case you would like to get details about items in the invoice, select the needed invoice and click on Item Preview to view each item with the relevant price. In case there is a very long list of invoices and you need to search for a specific invoice of which you have the number, click on Search and insert the invoice number. The system will automatically lead to the needed invoice. It is also possible to issue receipts. In case a credit customer pays, click on Receipts, search for the customer, insert the paid amount, and click on Save. The receipt can be printed and given to the customer. In case money not related to sales was added to the cash desk or withdrawn from the cash desk, it's important to include the amount in the system to be able to know precisely the amount of money at the end of the day. Click on Functions and then click on Paid In, Paid Out. In case you would like to add money, for example, the petty cash, click on Plus. Insert the amount, for example, $200. Insert the description or reason. Select the concerned user who added the money, and then click on Save. It's possible to print a receipt in this regard. The same applies for the paid out, with the main difference of clicking on minus. For example, $20 were paid as an invoice for a specific supplier, and the amount was withdrawn from the cash desk. Select the concerned user who withdrew the money, and then click on Save. As noticed while working on the POS, different pictures were used. These pictures can be determined according to one's preferences. There are 16 predefined pictures included in the system, in addition to a 17th skin that can be customized and will be explained later on in the back office chapter. To choose the skin, click on Functions, click on More, then click on Change Skin. Here, the 16 predefined skins appear. Notice each of the skins. The skin can be changed from time to time according to seasons. For example, this skin can be used in winter. Each restaurant can choose the skin according to its style. This skin can be chosen, for example, in spring. This one can be chosen in case the restaurant shows football games. Every restaurant can choose the skin that suits him best. This skin can be chosen, for example, in autumn. After choosing the skin, two options are available. A different skin can be applied to each POS. In this case, click on Save this skin for this workstation only. Or, in case you'd like to apply the same skin for all the POS, click on Save this skin for all workstations. After clicking on Exit, then entering again, notice that the recently selected skin is applied. The support team will answer any questions you have. Please send the questions to support@omegapos.com.